Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hey,
Hello.
Nancy, how are you?
Good.
Good,
Good.
good. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was awesome. Really fun. Nice to spend some time with family and, take some hours of mental break from this stuff. And so it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot, right? And for all of you out there, for all of you moms, for all of you parents, all of you activists, if you're feeling a bit worn down by the work, that is completely normal. That's why we all have each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's very easy to get kind of dispirited. And I guess coming off of the Thanksgiving break, I want to say that I'm thankful for all the parents and the community members that we're locking arm in arm with and fighting the battle together, because that's how we're going to win this. I mean, the one thing that the enemy has or doesn't have that we have is each other. And that is always important to remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially for a difficult topic that we've been talking about over the past several weeks. I know that our Lieutenant Governor, Mark Robinson, really brought this up on the national scene, where a month ago or so, he was talking about the filth in our schools. Right,
Yeah.
Nancy?
Yeah. No, I thought he did a great job with that press conference and showing the images. And it's just so these images here, what he showed from a book called Gender Queer. And this has been kind of
Well,
the
God help
symbol,
me.
I
I'm going to
guess.
try to blow it up even
Yeah.
more.
It's
I know
become
I don't want to do this, guys, but
it kind of
yes,
became the symbol of the problem in these libraries, simply because it is a graphic novel, although it's hardly the only novel. In fact, it's amazing to me how many quote unquote award winning novels I'm seeing are actually just uh, pornographic and gratuitous.
yeah, I mean, look, Yasser Arafat won the Nobel Peace
Yeah,
Prize back in the day. So they give a lot of prizes to, prolific a-holes, to be honest with you. So
yeah,
that the books are getting prizes, you guys. I know we can all agree that that book you just saw, which depicted uh, pornography and depicted disgusting pedophilia, that doesn't deserve a reward. That deserves an arrest warrant.
yeah. I don't understand why it's in public school libraries. I, you hear some of the, say, the devil's advocate version
I'll say,
is, well, it's in the library, it's not in the classrooms. So, and to that, I think that's actually just absolutely ridiculous. It's in the public school library, meaning the public school wants to make this available to the kids within the school.
I have
Classroom,
an
classroom, the library is still a classroom as far as I'm concerned. Second of all, people say, well, it's everywhere outside in the world anyway. And my issue is like, yeah, it's hard enough to protect your kids from all this stuff going on around social media and TV and commercials and all this stuff. So why do we have to worry about it in school? Why isn't that, aren't they supposed to be safe places? Like, this is, why not make the school safe for the kids from pushing all of these ideologies on top of these images and gratuitous scenes? We should be doing everything we can to protect the kids in the public school system from this crap. Plus, you don't know the histories of these kids and what they've been through or experienced, what could trigger, past potential abusive experiences looking at this stuff or seeing this stuff. So it's not an excuse. It's just because it's out there anyway. And then, of course, the third big one that tries to guilt people who are fighting this is, well, these are marginalized students and they need to see themselves in books. And to that, I say, I, I don't associate pornography with any particular group of people. Like, how does that represent, how do those graphic scenes represent a certain marginalized community? I want to see people as people, not as, in their character and how they treat other people, not as depictions of graphic sexual material.
right.
So I find it insulting that they're saying that this is representative of marginalized communities. I don't see how pornography represents any one particular community over another. What do you think, Sloan?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the pushback there is if you think that gay people want pornography depicting them in a library because that's what you're going to get for pushback, then that's absurd and that's homophobic on its face. But I'll tell you this, here's the ultimate pushback, and this is grounded in fact, and it's grounded in the Constitution, and it's this. The Establishment Clause provides that we can't spend one thin government dime inside of the classroom promoting a religion, period, in a discussion. No Bible, really, not prayer, nothing. And so if you can't promote prayer, but you can promote porn, completely, absolutely ridiculous. And another thing, on the government dime, we are peddling smut to children. I don't think so. But Nancy, I've got one update for you. This is a very, very, very important update for everyone here. You're saying that this pornography does not belong in the library. I totally agree. And that it's not in the classroom. That's bull. Now we know because the system in Wake County, at least, that provides, and we're going to tell you where all this is, the system in Wake County allows children to access this material on their laptop from anywhere they are in any grade. And so a mother just showed me that they're able, and I'm going to show you guys, they're able to look at this stuff from anywhere and everywhere. Now, you may say, and you're correct, hey, listen, my 8-year-old is not going to access that stuff. Trust me, it may be on there. They may have access. It will not actually be seen. But I can tell you what, you've got some wacko teachers out there who will make it a part of their lesson plan. And all the child has to do is open up their laptop, which they're given at school, number one. Number two, you do have increasingly child sexual predators inside of the classroom. Now we're learning that they're transferred from school to school to school. Unbelievable. It's kind of like the Searchlight Project in the Catholic Church. Mm-hmm. So my point is that you've got inappropriate lessons and you've got inappropriate teachers. That plus pornography on their laptop is a recipe for disaster. We cannot let it continue.
Yeah. And I don't know what the intelligence value is, because some of these other, I mean, we've shown the graphic novel, which in and of itself is horrific, but some of these other books that have this gratuitous material in it, they aren't even intellectual. Like, people make the argument, well, you know, Shakespeare talked about sex, and there are other books that have these themes in it. But there's difference, a level of rigor between, I would say, Shakespeare and, you know, some of the modern day woke millennial authors and their ability to express themselves. Again, that's another lame argument that is completely, it's just ridiculous. It's absurd. Well, there's a difference in literary standards here.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's address the matter at hand. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to try to make this bigger because I think it's really critical that everybody does see this. Hold on, let me see where I'm going. Shoot. Wait, I don't know where I am. Let me stop sharing for 1 second. Okay, so this is shared to us by one of our moms. Let's see. I'll make it big enough to show you. Okay, looks like I can't get here. Okay, are you seeing this this trigger warning thing? Okay, so I want you guys to look at this, and I'm getting this like right at the moment, and that's why I have to share my screen with you and let you see it. Oh shoot, I'm not saying that. Wait 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna move off of this. I can't do it right. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that any school in North Carolina, you're going to be able to access this stuff off of. Let me read this to you. Off of the system is called. This is in Wake County. Gender Queer is a book we're just talking about. That they have an audio book for Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. By the way. And let's see, and it's on the library app. Okay. So I want you guys to all log in. It is on the library app at, no matter if it's Wake County, I would venture to say, Mecklenburg, whatever it is. And let's talk about also where this is located. But Nancy, I mean, you and I have been at this for now 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this being literally at the fingertips of every teacher and child? And we already know that this is being done surreptitiously. Teachers are all the time. They've been very open. Some, not all. In fact, not most. They've been very open about, we're going to teach your child whatever the hell you want, and you don't have to know about it.
Oh yeah, they lie a million ways from Sunday. And then they try to make you feel bad for asking questions about it and trying to point out, are we going to have any standards here? Or, they call you, oh, because we happen to show this particular book, which I guess was a reference to transgenderism or the LGBTQ community. Oh, you're against LGBTQ representation in the library. No, I'm against the content of that book. Unfortunately, there happens to be with the push for, diversity and underrepresented groups and marginalized groups, a lot of these books are using those themes, but unfortunately are not backed up, like I said, by literary rigor or, really hard depth looks into universal themes of human emotion.
It's hard and in depth. It's hard and in depth look.
No, I meant from like an intellectual standard or something.
Oh, okay, because that's
gratuitous.
Right. Problem.
So unfortunately, for example, so there's another book, and I have read this one called Out of Darkness. It's in multiple libraries everywhere. It's probably universal at this point. This story is about a relationship between a Black male and a Mexican female. They're teenagers in Texas in the Jim Crow era. So that's, if you criticize the book, then you could be saying, well, you're afraid of what happened in the Jim Crow era getting out and all this stuff. No, it's
you mean the Jim Eagle era?
Yeah, Jim Eagle, the Biden Jim Eagle. No, it's the content, and I have selections here, and this is one of the books that's contested right now in Orange County, and it's just filled with gratuitous masturbation, sexual abuse, rape, torture, violence.
Can you repeat the name of that again, so we have that?
It's called Out of Darkness.
Okay.
And it takes place in the Jim Crow era, Texas. And even in the notes, the author, I can't think of her name right now, I'm sorry, but even she talks about, the lived experience, even though this isn't a true story from a historical record per se, she imagines it to be the lived experiences of people during that time. So I'll read you an excerpt. I have major problems with this book. When I read this book, I felt traumatized. I was like, no wonder why kids are having mental health problems.
So I think what we're looking at right now, guys, just while Nancy is doing a dramatic reading, God help us all. These are the schools. I'm going to scroll down. These are the schools that have this book. You all need to look. These are the schools so far. What book is it out of? Hold on. All I have now is Looking for Alaska, but I can pretty much with pretty good confidence tell you, number one, it's going to be available via almost every library app at your kid's school. Okay, that's another bucket. Number two, at libraries, I'm going to scroll through the schools that we have listed already and show you the schools. We're also, Nancy, after your dramatic reading, which I'm not trying to delay.
Right.
Please don't get me wrong. Okay. We're going to tell you about a success that some awesome parents had yesterday. So we can do something about it, and we're going to. And without further ado, drum roll, please.
Okay, so this is a section from Out of Darkness, and the author I just looked up is Ashley Hope Perez. Okay, Henry, who is the stepfather in the story. Henry came to the side of her bed and pulled back the covers. Naomi, who's the teenager heroine, Naomi sat up quickly and scrambled backward. Shh, he said. He took one of her hands in his and squeezed it. Come on over here. He pulled her to her feet, close to him. He shifted in his pajamas, and the part of him that made him a man stuck out, reddish purple and frightening.
Oh.
She had never seen one before, except on a baby. This was different. He lifted her hand to his mouth and licked it. Then he lowered her hand down and closed it around the hardness. His hand moved hers. His left hand gripped her shoulder, pressing her head tight against the hard, flat plane of his stomach. She watched her hand move back and forth like it didn't belong to her.
Okay.
A moment later, the thing leapt. Henry's whole body shuddered, and a hot mess lay across her palm and between her fingers.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm one of many in that book.
Okay. So these books are widely available. Again, look at your kids' library app immediately, right now. You have to do that, guys. I mean, you have to take ownership of this, because I'm telling you, either their friends are going to tell them about this. I can promise you that you're going to have a nutball teacher or sexual predator. I'm telling you, that's happening. The good teachers are leaving. They're leaving in droves. It's not because of pay, a lot of other reasons. And in their place are people that we really don't actually want to be teaching. And so tell us, would you update us? Do you know anything about Orange County? Where are we with that? I would like to hear an update.
So one of the fights has come to Orange County because it's gone full-blown activist. There's Antifa there informing the school board. It's really, there's so many issues. But one of the things the parents of Orange County found due to their diligent hard work were some of these questionable books in the high school library. And so they brought that to the attention. They created an outrage. We printed out some of the pictures and held them up at one of the school board meetings outside the school to show people exactly what we're talking about. And no one could look at them. You know, they all, even the media couldn't look at them. Yes. So the parents are fighting it very hard. We actually were able to get the board chair, Hillary McKenzie, who's very progressive, very pro indoctrinating kids in gender fluidity, that type of thing, to actually come out on her social media site and give like a press release of sorts of how the district was looking into it as of October 14th and 15th. These three particular books, George, this Lawn Boy, George, which is one of the ones that Mark Robinson mentioned, Lawn Boy, and Genderqueer. She actually, she stated where those books were located, that they were removing them from the shelves while they were under review, named the policies, et cetera, et cetera. Well, several weeks had gone by and I hadn't heard any update yet. And so I asked the superintendent of Orange County Schools, Monique Felder, what was going on with that. And then I looked at the policy again, realized they only had 15 days they had to review the books within 15 days, plus another 5 for the superintendent to make a formal decision. So I emailed her that. I was like, this is the policy you stated. These are the books in question. Here's Hillary McKenzie's post, which has since been taken down. She took down her Facebook site. That says you were reviewing these as of October 14th, 15th. It's been past the deadline according to your policy. What's going on?
So what happened? They reviewed it, and then what did they come back with?
Well, she just had excuses about, it wasn't really a parent who filed that. So I mean, they weren't going to.
But we're telling you this, audience, so that you know what kind of crap you're going to get in return. Okay.
I mean, they're going to do as much as they can to put it off. In the meantime, a separate parent had filed 3 requests of book reviews that included Lawn Boy, Genderqueer, and this book that I just read from, Out of Darkness.
Right. So the book you saw earlier, you guys, and the book you just read. And what did they come back with, Nancy?
The Cedar Ridge, specifically, school. And Cedar Ridge approved all 3.
Middle school.
It's a high school.
It's a high school.
But there are kids under 16. The law, the statute.
So you got that, guys, is that a school actually approved it. Yeah. They actually approved it. So I want to show you, Nancy and I aren't just, blowing smoke here. I want you to see what we're actually talking about. So remember that, that this school approved it. Remember that all this stuff is on the laptop. Remember all this. Check this out, guys. This came out over the Thanksgiving holiday. They always say ex substitute teacher. Well, hell yeah, it's ex, because they've been doing some shady SH, right? This is a 19-year-old substitute teacher here. We're going to learn a lot tonight. 19-year-old substitute teacher in Cleveland County arrested for multiple sex-related crimes. 19-year-old indecent, 2 counts of indecent liberties with a student, 3 counts of displaying material harmful to minors. Could that be what we're looking at? 2 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. This is a 19-year-old girl. So we're going to talk about this. I didn't know 19-year-olds could be a substitute teacher. Yes, according to DPI, you could be 18 years old. I had no idea. Now, let me bring this into focus. There is an unbelievable shortage of teachers all across North Carolina. I mean, and it is well documented. It is, the DPI is open about it. The districts are open about it. It just is. So you're going to have substitute teachers that, sure, that was a girl, I believe so. We're going to have substitute teachers, guys, that are 18, 19. It is absolutely insane. These substitute teachers, I'm pretty sure, Nancy, that they're not vetted clearly. If you're bringing in a damn warm body, I'm telling you right now.
If you're 19, you were growing up just in the past few years with exposure to the books we just read and showed.
Excellent
so they
point.
think that that's normal. Like they think that that's that's normal, that should be part of a kid's school experience.
Oh, that's a girl. That's a good question. So Emily Jean Durden, again, 19. I'm going to read this out again. A substitute teacher, because we're discussing pornography in the schools. Okay, so it's already there. So there's a normalizing here. Mm-hmm. Nancy just told you about a high school saying this is hunky dory. We're fine with it. Mm-hmm. Charged with 2 counts of indecent liberties with a student, 3 counts of displaying material harmful to minors, kind of like the stuff we just showed you, and 2 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. This is real serious stuff here, you guys. And it's happening.
And it's all the way up through the American Library Association. I mean, they're saying free speech, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, if you're an adult and you're looking and reading these books and you think they're appropriate, even at the high school level, to have an American Library Association, I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, I mean,
I do.
You can, and people make the arguments, whether it's not saying, we're not throwing the book in the fire. We're just saying it's inappropriate for this public school tax dollar funded place.
It's, you know what? No, we can go ahead and say it. This is indecent. This is indecent in this society and every society. You tried doing this in Russia.
Right.
Give it a whirl. Yeah. You try doing it.
Jump to the book burner thing.
You do it in Saudi Arabia. Try it and see. Okay. In other words, universal, but let's just say, you're so nice, Nancy. You always give people the benefit of the doubt and you make a scholarly argument. But this is inappropriate on its
I completely agree. But when they start jumping to telling parents they're book burners, I mean, hold on a second here. We're talking about K through 12 public schools.
I'm sorry. That just gets the damn middle finger from me, because I'm tired of this. I'm done. So this is okay. So I want to show you guys the law. We've been using, I guess, a vernacular. So I want to tell you about the success that we've had. Let me see how to scroll on this bad boy. Shoot, I don't even know where it is. But
I'm sorry, just a quick. Someone's asking about Lawn Boy. It's the Lawn Boy by Jonathan Evison. There's a couple different.
There are 2,
titles, but the one that's questionable, and I haven't read it. I've just seen a couple excerpts, so I haven't read the whole thing like I have with Out of Darkness. But the one that's been in question in Loudoun County and in Orange County, and has been read aloud at several school board meetings, is Lawn Boy by Evison.
Okay, so what we're looking at here, can you see this screen move? Hold on. Oh, geez. I don't think I can see it. Okay, so what you're looking at here All right, I got to reshare. Here's the actual laws, so that we know. We've been saying that it is pornography to minors, but we may have a better law, and I want you guys to really take notice of what I'm showing you here, so that you can use this. So disseminating materials harmful to minors. Here it actually is. North Carolina law has an additional phrase, material harmful to minors. Did you notice the language in what I just showed you? I just showed you that teacher, 19 years old, who was busted in Cleveland County for doing just this. So we actually have something on the books in North Carolina and Cleveland County. Let's use that to our advantage. The North Carolina law has an initial phrase, for obscenity relative to minors. The definition is almost identical to obscenity, but with reference to what would be obscene to a minor rather than an adult. Ding, ding. We've been calling it pornography, and it is, but this is what the law says. As you may expect, the standards for obscenity will be more strict for a minor, who are generally shielded from exposure to sexual material. Like obscenity, this would not apply to material that holds literary, scientific, political, or artistic value. Okay, we have it. We have it right here. We have it right here, and I'm going to tell you this. The fact that this is no longer, we're no longer in the realm, you guys, of hey, this is only in the library. We're in a different ball game as of tonight. It is on library apps. You need to check your child's library apps right now. Nancy, would you type in the text box, what are a couple of titles? We bandied a few around tonight. Let's take the top 3 or 4, and I want you guys to look for it. In Wake County, there was an incredible success spearheaded by Moms for Liberty in Wake County yesterday. They went down to the sheriff's department in Wake County and brought the books. I believe they brought either the books or the book title to the sheriff's department. And actually, the sheriff came out and said, "Hey, this is wildly inappropriate. This has no place here," and actually took a police report, took a criminal complaint. And as I understand it, Gerald Baker, I'll get his picture up here in just a second. He is going to be giving that over to the DA, Lauren Freeman. Okay, so that is a good success, right? We've had a good success. We need to celebrate success wherever we can get it, because we don't have a lot of it. But I think this all hinged, you guys, on using the correct statute. And again, it is this obscenity law. So I'm going to show you the sheriff here, Gerald Baker, because we do owe him a debt of gratitude. In North Carolina, I believe he is the first guy who's taken this seriously. Here he is. I don't know. I've never met this guy. Just looking at him, I'm not interested in being on his bad side. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not going there. So this is the sheriff in Wake County. He came out and he said this is not appropriate. Now we're going to, keep reminding him to stay on it. We're going to remind the DA, Lauren Freeman, who is up for re-election. She's got a primary challenger, guys. She's the prosecutor here in Wake County. She's got I believe a George Soros funded prosecutor that is trying to primary her. And I believe it would be in her best interest to be on the side of children. So you may want to give her a phone call. Lauren Freeman, Lorin Freeman. I have met her before. I believe she's fair. But look, if we've got Sheriff Baker in our corner on this, he was very upfront about his thought that this is a violation of the law. We need to talk to Lauren Freeman about this. So this means, let's go back to the list of where all this stuff is. So if you're finding this book in your library, and I'm going to put the book list up, but I think we need, again, the where they actually are. If I can manage. I'll try to manage that. But yeah, you need to definitely go to your sheriff's office. We did it in Orange County. The response was, that's a school issue. Well, it's not a school issue. A school shooting is a school issue. Is the sheriff not going to come there for that? Let's see. Molestation of children is a school issue. Is the sheriff not going to come out for that? Why is the state of North Carolina paying for school safety at every school, paying the SROs who in fact come from the sheriff department? Why are they paying for that if law enforcement is a school issue? I mean, the laws of the Constitution and public safety aren't suddenly suspended in a school zone. I mean, your Second Amendment laws are suspended in a school zone. I know that, but certainly law enforcement is not restricted there. So my point to you is, do not take this excuse. Do not. Okay, good. Here's the list of books. Thank you, No Left Turn, for putting this together. A starting list of books to ask questions about. We need to get this in front of everyone. So I guess our next steps here in Wake County, again, calling Lauren Freeman, who's a DA, and say, hey, Baker has written a report. Let me get a report number for you guys too. But in Orange County, what can we do in Orange County?
Well, the parents have, so like I said, Cedar Ridge approved the books. The librarian, I believe, at Cedar Ridge is, I think, the head librarian of that district. I could be wrong. Fact check me. I can't remember her name. She was, I believe, on the committee. So that's, and she locked down her Twitter account, interestingly enough.
Wow. Doesn't that happen more often?
There are other librarians in Orange County who have their Twitter accounts open, and you can see the type of things they like to promote in schools. Again,
it's a dandy. It's a dandy.
But the parents did. The parent who brought those 3 books to the attention of Cedar Ridge specifically did file an immediate appeal with the district. So the district has to review those. They do overlap with the original proposed district review. So in total, the Orange County district now owes us answers, now owes parents answers on 4 books. George, the one from the lieutenant governor that he mentioned that was in Wake about the transitioning of a child and surgery and all of that stuff. Out of Darkness by Perez, which I read from. Lawn Boy by Evison, which was made famous in Loudoun County. And Gender Queer, which is the graphic novel pictures Sloan showed in the beginning. So all 4 of those are under district review. We did get the superintendent to recognize that she has some very specific guidelines and deadlines that she has to get this stuff done by, and we're watching. So, she officially recognized that they were under district review. I want to say the Monday of Thanksgiving week. I can't remember the exact date, but we should have an answer in a couple weeks. And the District of Orange County has a decision on their hands. Sheriff Blackwood, who is, and by the way, we have on record Hillary McKenzie, the Orange County board chair, saying officially there is no pornography in schools. So that's interesting too. So their decision will be a big one. Sheriff Blackwood is aware there have been reports filed. He's kind of sitting on them right now. So we'll see what happens with the district answer and then what he decides to do based on that. But we already know there are some people, employees of Orange County Schools who want these books in the library available to kids who want to.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of like that teacher I just showed you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
but here's a case
that they're only in the libraries. I just hate that. They know this is how they start to normalize it, right? They get it in the libraries and they say, oh, well, who cares about this one single book over there in the library? And it's just in the library. It's not an assignment. But then before you know it, that's what they're trying to do, right? They sneak it in under the radar. That's just an excuse. Either it's appropriate for school or it's not appropriate for school. If it's not appropriate for school, you don't have it in the school library. End of story.
Okay. So here's the Wake County case number. That's the case number. So when you are calling Lauren Freeman, reference that. We could use 10 or 20 phone calls tomorrow. Pleasant phone calls. Just say, hey, where are we on this? we want this weighed in on, and then we need to get you guys doing this in every county. I'm going to put up again the list of where these schools are, so that you can kind of go and see. But again, Nancy, I'm thinking now that we have been made aware of this happening on the library apps, I kind of think everybody's got a cause for action in the audience right now. This stuff
This is a systemic problem. This is not like 2 or 3 books. I mean, I have since this has come out from Loudoun County initially, and Mark Robinson's press conference, like I'm getting nonstop emails and messages of books, you know, written in the past 15, 20 years with, I mean, gratuitous stuff that is not necessary or done in any kind of literary manner. And something happened in the publishing industry in the past 20 years where they started accepting these books and promoting them. And it's a systemic problem. I mean, I would say, honestly, as a parent, any book my kid checks out from the library that I haven't heard of that's been published in the past 10, 15 years, I'm looking at through that book. You cannot
listen, Judy Blume. Remember Judy Blume back in the day, where it's a book about a girl getting her period?
Yeah, now it's like that's like a universal theme now in these books. They're all like using the period as an excuse to get out of gym class in all of these books. It's like the same thing. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I thought I thought that was pornography back when I was 13 reading it.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I felt like a weird about, wow, is this even legal? I mean, that's nothing, as you can see. These are some of the schools. Again, the fact that it is going towards your kids online, that's not a damn accident. That is not an accident. I think we need to look at Go Open and See and look at the ISKME system. I think we need to have another look-see on that bad boy. Don't you, Nancy? And figure out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I already know. Go Open and See. You know, it was promised by, I think Jamie Falkenberry wrote a public letter on Truett's behalf, and he promised that they were going to look through Go Open and See. I mean, you can find it on the letter that they were going to go through these online things and sort through and make sure no inappropriate content was getting through. And he wrote this down.
Well, let's go check that out. He's the head of government affairs for Catherine Truett, and he's so honest.
Yeah. So I mean, he did say that they would be on top of it. He said that on behalf of Catherine Truett, and they never retracted that letter or anything.
Great.
I know for a fact that on the Go Open NC website, there's several lesson entries from the Southern Poverty Law Center. There's several lesson entries from
those got to be super accurate, super favorable towards Christians and whites.
I'm talking like yes, 50, 60 lesson plans from the ADL, which are the organizations promoting these types of books and saying you're racist.
The ADL is horrible. And I can say this as a Jewish person, if you think the ADL is there to help Jewish people and defend them against anti-Semitism, I'm sorry, that train left the station about 15 years ago. And in the last 5 years, it has been nothing but a fig leaf to cover promoting the most radical hate and the most one-sided view of things. So when you see the ADL, and it is terrible, the Anti-Defamation League, I have to tell you something. The once venerable institution that was there to protect people is horrible. See, thank you, Amy.
So if you go to Go Open, you can just search in the index or whatever search function, ADL, and several lesson plans. I mean, they have like 20 years.
Let's go ahead and show this. I'll show this to everybody, just so everyone can look. I think everybody needs to have a look-see on here. And let me just take you through it, just so you know. Thank you, Eric. Wow. Okay. So happy Hanukkah. I think there are more Jewish people on this on this call than anyone. It's a real service here. Thank you. I do too. So it's unanimous. Let's see. I'm going to show you the Go Open and See. This is critical because this is the way This is paid for by the state. We have fought tooth and nail with the DPI about this. This is the way to get around the parents, okay, and into your child's classroom, if you will. But it is Go Open NC. Go Open NC right there. Okay, it's going to say, what are you looking for? The subject. You can see all of these curriculums, mathematics, whatever it is. Heaven help us with social studies. Let's say, grade 9 and standard. I don't even know. Okay, and then search. Okay, are you guys seeing this? All right, and so you can see. But Nancy, to your point, you can also go discover providers, right? That's where you want to go. All right. Yeah. So providers, look at who's into this. So ADL would be, do you see it? And I might be looking right. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see. Some of this I'm not hating. Right.
Yeah, some of it, but you do have to do a deep dive in it as to
you
what
really do. Nancy, this is going to trigger you. Please do not go into a bout of madness.
Let's sorry.
Nancy's favorite group, Southern Poverty Law Center. Are you okay? Can't see you because I'm scrolling. Are you okay, Nancy?
It's so stupid. Yeah, the reason why I dislike them is because they infiltrated the Montessori school system secretly, and they've aligned their curriculum with the American Montessori curriculum, and there was like no announcement. And my son, when he was in the Montessori school system as a third grader or whatever, got this journal printout for Thanksgiving. It was written by a Marxist activist. And it was actually, I figured out it was plagiarized. And it was like a blog post from the year 2000 and talked about how hateful the United States is and how, it was systemic racist, and we've had 400 years of wars and genocide, and they still have it up on as a learning activity on their website, which I can't believe because they're just that stupid. So sorry, I dislike them tremendously.
Have you guys ever seen Clockwork Orange? When they play that song and the guy goes crazy. Okay. When you say SPLC, it's like a Clockwork Orange. Nancy goes, yeah. But we all have this. This is very triggering stuff. So we're going to end this now. And I'm just going to say, we're going to keep you updated on this. We have had victory. We will have victory because I want to tell you what, look, the public is with us. I'm telling you right now, the public is with us. We can feel it. We know it. We hear it. People in office, they know and they understand this. We have to hold our government leaders accountable, period. End of discussion. From the sheriff to the district attorney here, to the school board members, right? To the DPI, to the superintendents at all level. We have to know where to direct our action, right? Who's responsible for what statutorily, which we'll talk about quite a bit. We've got to be standing firm on that. Now, people can choose, right, not to follow the law. That's one thing. But we have to have the law. Look, there are laws, there are policies and rules. Law, policy, rule, right? You have to go after, if the law says that they can do something and the policy is a perversion of that, you got to go after the people that are doing the policy. Then you got to change the rules, right? You got to change the policy. And the law is going to be harder to change because the legislature doesn't get back in session until January, and we don't have time to wait. So, when's the next time?
I'm sorry, I CC'd the Board of County Commissioners of Orange County in my emails to the board about this stuff and put screenshots of the pictures and said, I would love if one of you were able to, go on record and come out against this stuff. And it was absolute silence. So as far as I'm concerned, they're complicit in all of this. They don't want to say anything. Silence is violence, right? So
silence is violence, baby.
So as far as I'm concerned, the board of which oversees the, schools and their budget, they're all complicit in it.
Okay. So I have another ask. We need volunteers this week and next to contact county commissioners, and we have a 10 county radius. All these guys are up for re-election. We want to put them on the spot. We've got 10 separate counties these books are coming from. So I want you to private message me. Don't forget to tell people how to donate. I love you, Eric. Okay. Eric's our fundraiser. He's our fundraiser.
Yeah.
He's our guy, man. He's our guy. So, yeah, let me get you that right away. And thank you for all of you guys that gave on Giving Tuesday. Thank you very much. To do what we do, we've got to have donations. Unfortunately, we're a nonprofit. We don't like to beg. We don't like to ask, but we have to. All right. So go to Ed First. Okay. But we need 5 or 6 volunteers over the next 2 weeks. We need you to go to Ed First NC and then sign up to volunteer, please. It'll take an hour or 2 of your time, and you'll be working on an amazing project with a great team. But we need county commissioners. Like you said, Nancy, we need to put everyone on the record. And to do that, okay, we need help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not a hard question. Like, you show the picture or you show the excerpts from some of these books and you say, do you really think, while you're pushing social emotional learning, because apparently all of these kids are so suicidal and depressed, that this is going to help? I mean, there's such a, to me, the hypocrisy is so insane. And then I just say, if they don't respond or they just give you some kind of BS, oh, every voice needs to be heard and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm not talking about
Christians. Christians' voices aren't heard because they can't pray in school.
Yeah, I'm talking about this picture.
That's right. That's marginalizing, right? That's not letting their voices heard.
Yeah. So I just, that's just BS. And don't let them try to turn the tables and call you homo enemies and stuff. Like, everyone's tired of that. This is common sense. There are other ways to develop character than through these books.
Exactly. Right. All right. So with that, good evening. Good evening, Nancy. And we'll be back on Sunday night. What are we going to talk about? I mean, you'll find out. I could say right now, we could say, but there's a lot of stuff. I mean, we live like 5 years in one day. We worked together today at the office, and I was like, I felt like it was 9 consecutive work days in a few hours. So,
well, yeah, I heard some weird stat that, like, people 250 years ago, like, the amount of information they took in a year is equivalent or way less than the amount of information humans see in like a single 12-hour period or something. Like, it's just mind-numbing how much comes at you as a person now,
and especially in this line of work.
Yeah. So
unreal. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Happy Hanukkah for you. To those who celebrate, it's night 4. Okay, we're halftime here. All right. So if you haven't gotten the big present, I recommend Groupon. I got about 9 of them today. That's what I did, Nancy. We some good stuff. All right. All right, guys. I will talk to you. We'll see you on Sunday night. Good evening.